play of the game from way down.
True, silence. Rainer getting absolutely
A team wipe.
The living bomb's going.
Oh my goodness, the ring. Bombs Tastinko gonna find Rainer.
Oh, the life finder keeps Maev up. It was going to be a close thing.
And healing, what? Get out of no! No!
Triple stun again. Big flanks coming out from the Blaze.
It's a death metal though.
Death metal into the double, triple kill.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Nexus Gaming Series. I'm Arrow, and I'll be your host tonight. So we are just about to get started here, trying to get all the teams, both of these teams, into the lobby. As we've got about half of them in here. Sorry for the short delay there as we got started. Had the teams going right up to the timer there on matches, it looked like, or not matches, but playing a game. So we're gonna see a game between Painfully Average and Frank. I think it's Frankfurters. I don't know what the F stands for. I assume it's Frankfurters. Let's see, that's something there. So anyways, Frankfurters and Pancakes, and this is a Division D East setup. Let's take a look at how the standings show currently. Right, there we go. It always takes a moment for it to figure out what we're doing here. So Division D East, at the top of the list we have Zul'jin Distillery, House of Ches, and 2 Calculated to Throw. Let's go ahead and highlight our 2 teams tonight. So FF and the Pancakes sitting with 3 points, Painfully Average currently with 0. But keep in mind that these teams have only played 1 game so far. That's okay. So everybody's here. Let me make sure they're on their right sides. Make sure that that was correct on the first pick. I believe was, yes, was Painfully Average. So that's good. And make sure that the captain hats look correct as well. As let's take a look at our map bans here. So 2 map bans per team. We had Volskaya and Battlefield of Eternity taken out by FF and the Pancakes. Tomb of the Spider Cream and Towers of Doom gonna be the bans for Painfully Average. And our first map is going to be on Cursed Hollow. And just confirming if the teams are in fact ready to go here. Sounds like they may be. I just want to be absolutely positive before I hit that button. You know what I'm saying? Great. Let's give them the link as well. And here we go, starting it up. So Cursed Hollow, a big map, gives the opportunity for something like a Juice Pirates. A lot of exactly right, Monkus. You missed the replay cast earlier that had the Juice Pirates. Was what did they do? They had Tyrael, Greymane, Morales, Anubarak, Tychus. Wow, that was a Zul'jin Distillery, another team from Division D East. But that is not this team. Not today, my friend. Our first ban of the game going to be Diablo. Let me put these out. Average and... okay, cursed. Had to update my list. Can't be missing that information. Need to know what's going on. Second ban going to be Jaina. That's a pretty early Jaina ban. It's always hard to determine if these bans are targeted, if they're kind of preliminary bans to prevent something that they want, like perhaps a Garrosh. So I guess we'll see. Let's go ahead and let Division D know that we're starting this up here. And we're gonna see the Chen ban. Very interesting. I mean, I don't know. I guess I could see Chen. I don't think of Chen, generally speaking, when I think of Cursed Hollow, but, you know, sure. Since the changes, it's harder to establish where his place is on some of these matches, on some of these maps. So we're going to see that Anubarak followed up by Orphea Brightwing on the other side. So giving them that global potential, and Orphea with the long range poke on a long cooldown. And what do they counter with? An early Uther pick. Kind of wonder if this is going to be looking at a double support into yeah, gosh, I don't know. Mega Muffin, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you. Welcome back. Diva, I don't even what? Guys, I don't understand what's going on right now. I mean, I can't predict these things when they ban Diva. Like the Johanna, okay, fair, I get that. Like, whatever, that works. Especially if you're gonna play something like a Rainer that you don't want to have the blinds, or even a Zul'jin perhaps. I don't know. Stitch is gonna be the pick for the tank role, and then an Abathur as well. Guys, I don't know what's going on here. I can't. I can't. You know what? Let's put up some stats. Why not? Let's take a look at this Abathur stat. What does Abathur stat look like, ladies and gentlemen? It looks like it doesn't get played in Div D East, at least not in the first week. Followed up by the Lunara. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know if I like it. Let's see. So Ragnaros and then Illidan. Okay, well, yeah, okay, that's fair. I can see that now. That makes more sense on that side. They don't have any real lockdown with Stitches other than, I guess, a polymorph. Uther gives them the Divine Shield. Ragnaros gives them the Lava Wave Pressure, because I'm assuming that's how this is going to go. Because the rest of the team, like all of FF and the Pancakes, have a fairly mobile team, whether it's the Brightwing with the Blink Kill, Orphea with the Q, allowing her to get all over the place. So really you're just looking at Stitches and who you'd want to throw a Sulfurous Smash onto anyways. I mean, I suppose Abathur if you can happen to get it, but if you happen to get it, then they shouldn't have taken Abathur in the first place, right? Yeah, it's it's really awkward. I don't know. I mean, Uther does provide burst protection against the Orphea as well. So there's that. But all right, let's go ahead and get into game number 1 here between Painfully Average and FF and the Pancakes. For the blue team, painfully average, we have Lord Gold on Anubarak, Desmerd on Uther, Willos on Gul'dan, Hufflepuffin on Lunara, and Gingermancer on Ragnaros. And for FF and the Pancakes, we have Courtney on Orphea, dancing in the backline there, Mr. Sue, I guess, on the Cuddle Bear Stitches, which is technically a banned skin, but probably okay on this map. Stampy on Illidan, XYXGY on Abathur, and Jaeger on Brightwing. So we do see Hammer the Lightbringer for Uther, gonna build up those auto attack quest stacks. The Sulfurous Hungers, what is that? Oh, I got it right. For Ragnaros, Echoed Corruption for Gul'dan. So all quest stacks there. I have no idea what this one is though. Hungry for more. I knew it was Hungry something for Stitches. Looking to get those globes, and we have a bribe coming out from Brightwing. So interestingly enough, going bribe when they have the Illidan, but of course they're down a body with this Abathur. And right away in the bot lane, we do have Lunara getting down pretty low. And it's going to be interesting to see what Lunara's build looks like with the Illidan and with the Orphea. You don't pick Ragnaros and not go away. Well, I guess. Certainly here. And Brightwing's going to go ahead and come up here as the control point. The tribute. Going to be down in the bot lane. Going to make use of that global value. And we do see Illidan coming over to get this siege camp, thanks to Brightwing up in the top lane. Not a whole lot going on here early in the game, flipping around as we... Son of a gun. I just looked at you, Courtney. It was just there. Good job, Courtney, on the kill onto Lunara. Feels bad if you are the bouncing centaur, dryad, druid? What a dryad thing. As I would have thought Lunara with into Orphea would have been the easier pick for them, but I don't know. Maybe she just bounces too much. Now Illidan with the Abathur hat, gonna get onto the point. Of note, Abathur did not take the level 4 auto attack, instead opting for that extra range for the Q. Yeah, Q. Tribute coming up, and Brightwing here has the advantage, at least from a soak perspective, but not if Illidan's up here as well, so I kind of expect them to just go ahead and give this, as the Siege Giant's getting pretty significant value, almost killing this first tower in the bot lane. Siege Camp doing not quite as much, but trying to get there anyways. And here comes Painfully Average to start working on this. And it's going to be Brightwing caught from behind with the Uther, the dive in from Anubarak. But thanks to the shield from Abathur, is going to be able to make it out. And Stitches there, sitting at half health, realizing he can't really do anything about the Uther. But in the mid lane, some pretty solid value out of this camp. Getting the full tower, starting to work on the other tower. So FF currently maintaining all of their various structures, and Painfully Average losing a little bit of theirs so far. Agreed, Munkus. That was a little bit little dangerous for FF to come into with the tower dives from Illidan and Brightwing. Getting that kill onto the Ragnaros. So, second tribute coming up. And now, this is a little bit worse situation, as Ragnaros is dead. Pretty far away from this tribute coming up here in 5 seconds. And it looks like the Pancakes are gonna make their way. Courtney scouting out that Lord Gold in the bush. The polymorph going out, gonna prevent Anubarak from using his shield. Has to burrow away, and now Ragnaros making it to the party, but Abathur hat onto Illidan is gonna get the value. And now Desmond in trouble as well. Stampy going crazy here. Loads of damage onto everybody, and Orphea just trying to keep things going, able to get that Ragnaros kill, maybe able to get even one more kill, but not quite, as Stitches did get the hook. But cooldown's not available. But look at this! Lunara has no health, no mana. Gul'dan also very low. Thinking that 2v1ing Orphea with a instant reset ability basically was a good idea, and they're gonna go ahead and get these towers now. And there's the stun. Gul'dan life draining his way to victory. But Abathur coming in with the shield to keep Courtney nice and alive. In the mid lane here, Anubarak getting chased down by Illidan. And they gotta keep an eye on this. Now level 10's online for the Pancakes. And this is not where you want to be with only one tribute. Pre-level 10, your opponent has level 10, and they've got an Abathur clone. And Ragnaros coming in, they don't care. They're going to start channeling this. This is unbelievably questionable. And there we go, the clone coming out, the wind pushing Lord Gold into the wall. Gingermans are going to go down here shortly thereafter. And now Lunara being chased down by Illidan has the hunt. And now 3 kills and a tribute going over to the Pancakes. Not looking good, as they are now going to rotate over to the boss, or looking good, depending on which perspective you're looking at here, as Uther finishes his level 1 quest there. But getting this boss going is going to give them the push in the top lane. That tribute just popped up in the bot, and that could potentially even lead to them getting both bosses and a curse. And we see Lunara sending her Wisp up here. Not a whole lot they can do about it. And I expect them to make this rotation down here. And they can kind of wait. Once they show up at the top to clear that, they can pop in on this. They don't have clone yet. They've got 15 seconds here. And it looks like there they... Oh, I thought they were going. So, not enough time for them to get the boss at this point. And Painfully Average is coming up. There goes the hunt onto Gul'dan. Dive in from Anubarak to try to save him, just barely misses the stun. Ultimately going to be a dead beetle. And now, with those 2 kills, this is definitely going to be a boss. And likely a curse. And bottom fort is already going down. Level 10's online here for Painfully Average as well, but none of them are able to really do anything. So Lunara channeling the point, but they're close by. They can easily stall that. Let's take a look at these talents here too. And Illidan just going crazy. Uther soloing 3+ a boss, getting that Divine Storm value, but ultimately now trading his life for nothing significant. And here comes that 3rd tribute, gonna lead to the curse. And this boss is gonna keep pushing in the bot lane. Full health. Certainly a fort. There goes the fear onto Orphea. Nope, that's the clone. Never mind. Jaeger deep in there with the Emerald Wind. The hunt onto Gul'dan. Gul'dan goes down. Lunara gets hooked in, and Hufflepuffin gonna die as well. Lord Gold trying to slow them down with the Impale, but the Polymorph will prevent him from getting out as well. And now 4 members of FF and the Pancakes marching in on the bottom keep. They do lose that top fort, and here comes the Molten Core out of Ragnaros, trying to get the defense out here. And the unfortunate correlation between Molten Core and Eternal Feast, allowing that to just chomp for days. Loads of damage onto Stampy though, trying to keep alive, dives over the fort but dies in the process. And with that, now their primary damage onto the structures here now dead. And it looks like Emerald Wind is going to get them the disengage they need, along with the Putrid Bile coming from Cuddlebear Stitches. And unfortunately, I thought it was always a different color. Yeah, that is pretty hard to see on this map with this color character. I think that's the first time we've even seen it. So let's take a look at the rest of these heroics and 13s that are now online for the Pancakes, as Brightwing did sneak in and bribe this bruiser camp in the middle here. So we've got the Cocoon, the Divine Storm, the Lava Wave, Horrify, and Thornwood Vine. Speaking of Lava Wave, that's going to be going in the bot lane. And Stampy trying to get it on this camp. Continue that pressure in the mid lane. And for the Pancakes, we see the Emerald Wind, the Hunt, the Clone, the Putrid Bile, and of course, Eternal Feast. And by the way, we have Abathur, who is repairing even the sidewalls as we speak. Minute and a half on the top boss, 2.5 on the bottom boss. No camps currently available. 2 in the top, and we do have a bit of a push here coming with the Brightwing and Stitches, and now level 16 online for Pancakes. There's the stun into the Illidan, the Divine Storm, and good night! That'll be 10,000 years plus 40 seconds or so. And now that Illidan's gone, you do have this pressure in the top lane. You gotta get value somehow, but right now the only value they can really get is clearing up the pressure coming from the Abathur in the mid lane and that bruiser camp that the Pancakes picked up. I think I would have liked to see somebody going down into this bot lane, not only to clear the camp, but also to get that soak. They're still down 16 talents, and this boss is up in 20 seconds. So now they're all rotating down here, which means that the Pancakes are going to see this. And Painfully Average on the opposite side of the map. Top boss coming up available now. Okay. That's a thing that just happened. And now they're going to be able to, they have a wave. They could come in here and take Ragnaros if they really wanted to. If they were paying attention and knew where he was. Oh, let's take a look at Abathur. Does Abathur see this coming? Does it even get into that bush? I don't know. Abathur does make it away into the clone. There's the Divine Storm. Chomp coming out from Orpheon to Lord Gold. The Emerald Wind pushing back Lord Gold into the team. Stampy getting the kill onto Lunara, but the fort will take him out. XY Abathur, whatever, will chase down Willows. The hook coming out from Stitches. And that's going to be a 3-4 for 1 trade. And now Uther probably going to make it a 5 for 1 trade. There we go, folks. What does FF stand for? I honestly don't know with certainty. I'm assuming it's Frankfurters, but I don't know that because Frankfurters became a different team, so I don't know. I'll have to ask them that if they win the match when we get to the interview. So 16's available now for both teams. Uther is not on the map, so yeah, I was gonna say this is what I expect coming down here. They have to know. They know, guys. Oh my goodness, what are they doing? What are they doing? Oh my goodness, they have no chance of stopping this. They could have at least traded out, gotten the boss, pushed that in. The top boss isn't that much of a problem for them. Certainly not enough of a problem for them to not get the bottom boss, especially since it's just done. But there's Emerald Wind, so 1 ultimate out. Cocoon going in onto the Stitches. Divine Storm removes Brightwing from the game. Courtney gonna go as well. The Hammer of Justice onto the clone, and this is a tribute for Painfully Average. Very important for them to get this tribute so that it sets them up for the next. However, this boss going into the keep, and it is pretty healthy still, about 90%. So what are they gonna do? Illidan getting the siege camp, and now it looks like Anubarak and Uther scouting to make sure that they're not at this boss, but Again, with 2 of them dead. I guess, technically speaking, Illidan Abathur probably can take the boss by itself. So 2 camps to the 1 camp. A little bit more value coming out from the Pancakes. Massive wave in the middle here. So loads of XP. All of both sides are awake and ready to go. And if you're painfully average here, I think you give this. I don't even know that you go for that boss. You don't have 20. They have Emerald Wind, they have Clone, they have literally everything that they want, and you have not level 20. And there's the stun into the Brightwing. Burrow Charge in, there's the Emerald Wind, but it's gonna get interrupted, and down goes Brightwing, but Gingermancer getting loads of damage. Ragnaros in terrible danger. Courtney up here in the top, though, is gonna get taken out by Lunara. Gingermancer hitting those Qs, trying to keep alive, and does so. And it's only Stitches left as Curse comes online for painfully average. Honestly, I don't even know that that was necessarily what they should have done. I think they could have kept the vision there from Lunara, maybe come and gotten this boss and then gotten the Curse, rather than wasting 30 seconds of the Curse getting the boss. But, you know, crimes of passion and all that. Ragnaros might not die to that. He's okay. He's all right. He's got this. So still only the 1 fort, but now they have a boss. They have 30 seconds left of a Curse. And there goes the lava wave. Not going to get any real pressure in the top lane, as there's nothing for it to, literally nothing for it to kill. So they're already dead. So I guess it's just pushing back the heroes. All right, they got 1 catapult from that lava wave. Super value. So they got their 2nd fort. All right. Still a very healthy boss here. They have level 20s. Let's take a look at those here. And this is the time for them to make some plays happen. They've got the boss here. They have all of their ultimates except for the lava wave. They don't need to be too aggressive. In fact, they probably should start backing out pretty soon, because having Illidan hunt in on you, not ideal if the rest of the team is there to follow up. They are not going to back out. Instead, they are going to get the siege camp. Stitch is very low on health, however, thanks to that root from the boss. So, missing with the fishing hook, Anubrak diving in. Again, the Brightwing Emerald Wind gets interrupted, and suddenly this game looking very strong in the other direction. But instead of pushing, they're gonna disengage entirely. And it looks like a Nubarak getting disconnected. But that is not my problem. There they go. All right. Let's come back over here, ladies and gentlemen. As Anubarak is currently disconnected, we'll show back up on the map here shortly. So let's see. Let's take a look at the talents here. So he, at level 20, Ragnaros took the double lava wave. And so we do see Demonic Circle coming out for Gul'dan. The Divine Hurricane, so we're going to see a larger reduced cooldown Divine Storm, which in all seriousness has been pretty well on point, managing to get the sorry, I got distracted, Ektar. So Alice may very well be, yeah, sorry Alice, sorry, I didn't mean to call you. Alice may very well be at least part Shiba. We certainly thought she was when we got her, but she's much bigger. She's about 60 pounds. She's a big doggy. But yes, double lava wave. We do see the intense fighting toxin for Lunara as well. the increased clone, or the level 20 clones, so getting those shields for whoever they clone, which in reality is probably always going to be Illidan. Also of note, Brightwing taking Fairy Protector, getting that extra pixie dust for her entire team, and the upgraded Eternal Feast. Oh, and we're back. Let's go ahead and put us back into the game. All right, so the bottom keep still up, and as was pointed out by Munkus, they've got Mule. Top keep still up, and currently being healed up. So tribute coming up here. Neither team needs this tribute. Most of the ults are up. No Horrify. Illidan on the boss. And we'll see if they don't seem to have any idea about this. And this is a very big win for the Pancakes, as a boss for a bruiser camp in a lane with 2 structures still is and your own bruiser camp that you can get to defend is going to be quite the trade for 1 tribute. So Demonic Circle, just to point it out here, got it down here at the bottom boss. So Lava Wave doing exactly nothing to this boss, because it just doesn't do that much damage to anything that's not a minion or a player, I guess. And now they're dealing with the boss. So boss gets a little bit of value, but it keeps them out of there. I'm kind of surprised that we didn't see some push with this. Now the Pancakes clearing up the mid lane. They've got their own bruiser. They have catapults. I don't know. I think that they could have done more with that than just release the boss and hope for the best. Minute and a half left until this camp is available, until the boss camp is available. Avther chilling out in his base. And here we go. Another tribute that ultimately doesn't necessarily have to be taken by either team. So look for the fight that you want. And right now it looks like this is the fight that Anubrag wants. He does pop the cocoon, and there goes the stun onto Brightwing once again. Followed up by a Divine Storm onto the clone. I think it missed the Stitches entirely, but there's a Stitches hook onto a minion, and this looks really good for Painfully Average, moving up to get that second tribute. But there's a huge wave in the bottom, and we'll see if anybody starts hearthing back. We do have the Gul'dan hearthing back now. And in 24 seconds, the bottom boss is available. No core damage yet. Siege coming in the bottom. 20 seconds until Brightwing's up. By the time this bottom boss is available, Brightwing would be able to shift in. So they're electing to not push for that. And here comes the potential tribute for number 3 for Painfully Average, as the hook did land onto Lord Gold there. Mr. Sue getting that hook, and Painfully Average is gonna get started on this boss. Seeing the Stitches coming through here, boss is at half health. Illidan does have the hunt. Did he take the upgrade? He did, so he's gonna be able to hunt in right onto that Ragnaros if he wants to. But the cocoon out onto the Stitches probably prevented him from making that call, at least. And there's the stun out onto the clone Divine Storm onto Cuddlebear Stitches, and Cuddlebear Stitches loses all of his stuffing, as this is now going to be a curse for Painfully Average. And things are looking a whole lot better for them now. Surprisingly, the early game, not so strong, but now that they've kind of picked up their stride against this Illidan Abathur comp, they're really making use out of the Uther into that Brightwing, interrupting the Emerald Winds, getting the big stuns onto the Illidan and Anubrag. I don't know what Anubrag's doing over here, unless maybe he's potentially DCing. feel like he should be zoning for the Lunara and Uther. And now Ragnaros and Gul'dan coming in here. There's the Molten Core, Eternal Feast going out, and Anub'arak is getting DC'd. Boss getting pinged, and Jaeger manages to make it out. Never mind, does not quite make it out. The Fear onto Orphea, and no delay on this one as the Divine Storm out onto Illidan and does get that kill. And how does this happen? I don't know. By the way, I want to point out, Rag just now finished that quest. Uh-oh. Let's see. What do we got? Let's go to stats. There we go. Playing to win, yeah. So 14 kills to 20. Let's take a look at some damage stats. Hero damage, Orphea, the big winner, but unfortunately it doesn't matter how much damage you do if you don't get the kills and convert the kills into a dead core. Healing, Uther, top healing. Uther nearly out healing the, no, actually he did out heal the combined total between Brightwing and Abathur. And let's check at that XP. Ragnaros, of course, at the top with 31,000, 14,000 for the out. All right, then. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in just a moment. We're going to go ahead and take a few minutes break time. I'm going to let you watch some of the nostalgia videos of not HGC, but of Heroes of the Storm while we find out where we're going for game number 2.
King has fallen. A father. A friend. A warrior. Defender of the Alliance. He was a beacon of hope. A leader without measure. A man who would never accept defeat. He was our shield against the storm. Wherever he has gone, Varian Rin will remain a hero. always.
Hey, y'all out there. If you're gonna get through the summer, you need stamina. You need strength. You need Darkest Finley's Bust Your Workout. You want a beach buddy for the first time in your timid little life? Well, I got the toughest fitness program in the multiverse. But you cannot argue with results. I guarantee I can turn anybody into a rock-solid hero!
Looks like you need a timeout.
Pancakes Finley, bust your Pancakes Finley are not responsible for damage inflicted by cannonballs, ghost pirates, enemy minions, garden terrors, web weavers, dragon knights, or immortals. Please consult the support class to determine if bust your right beam. All sales final. As I was saying, I can transform any... Now listen, you know none of this is legally binding, right? Hell, it's about summertime.
The life finder keeps Maya thought it was gonna be a close thing.
And healing, what? Get out of no! No!
Triple stun again. Play of the game. Big flames coming out from the blaze.
Raider getting absolutely
A team-wide
Into the double, triple kill.
goodness, the ring. Bob says Nico's gonna fight Raider.
Welcome back. We've got everybody in the game, and after that last game, oh, that's not the one I wanted. I want this one. After that last game, we've got 1-0 so far for painfully average, and our next game. Alice, shut up. Next game is going to be Infernal Shrines, which was picked by painfully average, as first pick was selected for the Pancakes. Also, while we had our break, I did ask about what FF stand for. It is not entirely appropriate for me to say on stream, so we'll just say it's Face and the Pancakes, shall we? I'll be calling them the Pancakes. Let's see, get the confirmations. Confirming that they are good to go. So 1-0 for painfully average. I did tell you that I was going to show you those talents here, so... 1-0 for painfully average. I did tell you that I was going to show you those talents here, so... 1-0 for painfully average. I did tell you that I was going to show you those talents here, so... 1-0 for painfully average. I did tell you that I was going to show you those talents here, so... 1-0 for painfully average. I did tell you that I was going to show you those talents here, so... 1-0 for painfully average. I did tell you that I was going to show you those talents here, so... 1-0 for painfully average. I did tell you that I was going to show you those talents here, so... 1-0 for painfully average. I did tell you that I was going to show you those talents here, so... 1-0 for painfully average. I did tell you that I was going to show you those talents here, so... 1-0 for painfully average. I did tell you that I was going to show you those talents here, so... 1-0 for painfully average. I did tell you that I was going to show you those talents here, gonna try to do that here real quick. I'll show it on the draft screen here. Let's go draft. There we go. Add image, talents. It's not going to be great, but it'll be good enough, at least for government work. So let's see, where did I put it? Downloads? Downloads, there we go. All right, so let's take a look at these talents. There you go, see how pretty they are? We'll come back to what they are picking and banning here shortly. First ban going to be Chen. That sounds familiar. Followed up by Malfurion. And we'll go ahead and get rid of these talents so that y'all can watch the action. Diva ban again. I don't know about this, guys. Does anybody play Diva so well that she's worth a ban? Does that happen? I don't know. We did have a sub, by the way. We swapped out X, Y, and the rest of the letters for Mr. G, so our Abathur player swapped out on the side of the Pancakes. First pick going to be Alexstrasza. One of her better maps, thanks to the control point and the shrine here, so she can get the value out of that Dragon Queen. And currently Courtney showing on that, as last round Courtney was on Orphea. Johanna coming into town, also a good pick for this map. Helping to gather those minions. And there's the Jaina to couple with that. Makes sense. Gather them. Chill 'em. Well, fair enough. I mean, I guess if you play her all the time and you're really good with her, then sure. Just seems really strange to see the ban. So Mr. G coming in with the Kael'thas. And the Diablo as well. Jaeger going from Brightwing to Diablo. Quite a shift there. Courtney on Alexstrasza. Let's take a look and see what the Alexstrasza stats are like here. Very low pick rate, high win rate, as we see Imperius getting banned out. And last time they banned Diva in this spot with Jaina before it, but it's going to be a Brightwing ban. So almost kind of expect to see a Rainer here. Maybe a Stukov for the silence. They're going back into the Uther though. And back into the Lunar as well. All right, well, if that's what they like, that's what they like. So they still probably need to have somebody for their solo lane on Ginger there. And now we're gonna see the Leoric and who else? We need another damage. That's not who I would have guessed. Nazebo coming in for D East here. New York Alex Diablo, that's what I was missing. KT. So what do they get to round out this draft? And I guess that does kind of make sense, taking the Nazebo into that Uther. And they're gonna pick the Greymane, so hoping that they can get the burst value out of the Jaina and the Greymane, coupled with the dot damage from Lunara. But at least from a healing perspective, I feel like they're a little bit behind on sustain. So if they don't kill somebody quickly, and of course with Lunara, it's not super fast. Well, game number 2 on Infernal Shrines getting ready here. Who is your pick for this setup? Who do you think's gonna win between these teams here? Of importance rather to note that Lunara at 13 can cleanse off dots, which includes the Living Bomb, which includes the Nazebo dot damage, so questionable as to whether she looks at taking that or if she looks at that greater spell shield. But let's introduce our teams. For the blue team, painfully average, we've got Desmond on Uther, Willos on Jaina, Hufflepuffin on Lunara, Gingermancer on Greymane, and Lord Gold on Johanna. And for FFN the Pancakes, we've got Courtney on Alex Strazo. Look at that Skinnergy. Stampy is going to be playing Nazebo, Jaeger on Diablo, Mr. Sue on Leoric, and Mr. G on Kael'thas. Let's see. Already splitting up the team. Lunara throwing her wisp nowhere. Just kind of hanging out there, making sure it's safe. And level 1 for Lunara, getting that hippity hop, giving her additional movement speed when she hasn't auto-attacked or been attacked herself. Continuing the tradition with that Hammer the Lightbringer for Uther. And lingering chill for Jaina. So I've now seen all of the level 1 talents for Jaina in the last couple of days. Feast on Fear for Diablo, and going Thing of the Deep for Nazebo. Does not want to get close enough for that Greymane to cause problems. One minute mark coming up. We're going to see these camps here soon. And interestingly enough, we have the Johanna in the top lane versus Leoric. That feels questionable to me. I think that they could have sent Lunara into that and been in great shape. Greymane finally picking his level 1 talent, electing to go with Wolfheart, reducing the cooldown rather than extending the duration, or going into cocktail build. I generally agree with you, Ektar. I think they have the better comp too. So we'll see. It is a little bit later of a comp. So we'll just have to see how that turns out. And now in the bot lane, as both teams did get their mid-siege camp here, we've got Jaina and Uther going to come down here and start working on this. And apparently I forgot to set myself to Do Not Disturb. Let's see if I can change that real quick here. There we go. Hopefully that shuts that down. All right, so we've got 4 in the bot lane clearing up this bottom camp. And that's all nice and clean now. First shrine coming online, and Jaina coming up into the top here. Might be a little difficult to kill this Leoric with just the 2 of them. Oh no, Farron is in the chat. Not everybody's a level 200 plus Nazebo there, Farron. I think that it's probably the right call for him to go Thing of the Deep with this team comp with the Uther with the Greymane. Don't want to get too close to that. And now top lane's gonna have pressure from that siege camp a little bit late maybe. And here they come. 5 versus 4-ish. No, there's the 5th one up in the top. So Johanna getting a lot of damage here, gets caught in the zombie wall and ultimately getting slowed. I don't think she's got Iron Skin, so having to back away, maybe tap? Nope, not tapping, having to Hearth. So Alex Straza able to get everybody pretty healthy on the side of the Pancakes, and here comes the Dragon Queen, and it's a 5-on-4 at this point, even on the minions. Johanna's coming back into it now. Not a whole lot of mana for Lunara, so you're not going to see a lot of Qs and Ws. Just trying to get the damage out where she can. Greymane going in deep onto the Kael'thas. Might be able to get the kill, but probably going to die because of it. And that is going to happen. But ultimately, the red team picks up the Punisher, and the leap goes out onto Uther, trying to heal himself enough and get that 25 armor. Probably saved his life there, as Diablo charging in, trying to finish the job. Fair enough, Ektar. Lord Gold now taking the punches to the face. Doesn't have a whole lot of health, and again, you've got an Uther, and the real challenge here is that all of those heroes were standing right next to each other, so it's very difficult for Uther to throw out that Q onto a hero when three of you are standing on top of each other, instead electing to pop the W, which ultimately didn't hit Johanna anyway. Stampy without any mana here, and what do we have? Is that Blood Ritual? Sure is. Makes sense on this map. Every time one of those skeletal defenders dies, you get the health and mana, so sure, I can get behind that. And now we wait. The mage is in the middle, eyeballing each other. Ultimately, it's going to be Willows getting the damage onto Mr. G. Lyric up here in the top lane, now officially having to deal with the Lunara. And that is a circumstance that I believe Lunara should win relatively easily. Jaeger, safe soaking bot lane. And now that they've got the siege camp here, they'll bring down 4 members to close it out. And all of the blue health bars heading up to the top. And as I say that, they change their mind. Uther coming down, Uther going up. And Johanna in a bit, a little bit far forward here, but it's Johanna, so Diablo's not even going to bother to try flipping her. I think if Nazeebo was in a little bit better position, maybe they could have gotten a zombie wall. Maybe that works, but it's a tough call. Level 10's coming up here. Currently the race in favor of the Pancakes, as Jaina and Johanna coming down to the bot lane here. Souls achieved for Jaeger, and Arcane Barrier? Arcane Intellect? Wow, anyways, the shield for Kael'thas completed as well. Hammer the Lightbringer now as well. And level 10s for both teams. Let's see what we got here. So far we have Blessed Shield, Thornwood Vine, Divine Storm. There's the charge in onto Greymane. Doesn't have anything to jump to. Gets the Living Bomb, will make it away from his team though. We also have the Ring of Frost, and Greymane not yet electing his option. Kind of expect that to be go for the throat, but it could go either way. It is go for the throat. So we see Apocalypse, Gargantuan, Lifebinder, Pyroblast, and the Entomb. And there's that Entomb into the Diablo, but there's nobody there to really follow up on it. But there's the APOC. Divine Storm preventing the follow-up. However, the flip onto Lord of Gold gets the Johanna killed, and then the Pyroblast in on Uther will finish a second kill. Ginger Mancer in the backline gets the kill onto Alex Straza, so they trade 3 for 1. And now they will return to get their Shaman camp going. Thank you, Man Addict. Oh, God, I can't believe I didn't know that. I could have just looked at it, but, you know. Nazeebo sitting at 76 stacks. Needs 100 to go to get that level 20 value. And we've got 4 and 4. Alex Straza on her way, Greymane on her way. Lord of Gold charging in. But only a couple of minions up right now. And here they come. Popping the Dragon Queen. There's only 19 left for the Pancakes to get. And there's that big heal. Courtney at half health here as Greymane all the way in the back. Lifebinder going out, keeping her now full health. Stampy walking away on the Nazebo. Has a little bit of dot damage from that Lunara, but ultimately everybody on the red side full health, and blue health bars are getting low. Greymane had to go back to tap, but there's the Divine Storm. Ring of Frost hits 4 members. This could be exactly what they need if they can just keep anybody alive long enough. Jinzermancer going in onto Mr. G. Mr. Sue dead as well. So a 3 for 3, 4 for 3 as Lunara gets caught by the Diablo, and that Shaman Camp in the top lane getting the full fort. And the Punisher, the Mortar Punisher in the mid lane now pushing. Uther gonna go ahead and get up there, deal with that Shaman Camp, giving the Pancakes free push in the mid lane. So close on that fight. That was a fight that they wanted, but they just couldn't quite get the conversion on the rest of the kills. And there's the level 1 trait quest for Jaina being completed, so that'll give her the ice block. Level 13 available here for the Pancakes. And coming up for Painfully Average, I'm looking forward to seeing which talent Lunara takes. I'm expecting it to be the Greater Spell Shield, because they didn't take Divine Shield. So the only people who really have a way to reduce or negate the damage, I guess technically Greymane, because he can go into, you know, Worgen, and that's 10. Okay. It's neither. So no cleanse and no Greater Spell Shield. I think that's a mistake coming from Lunara. But what do I know? But also the ice block for Jaina, and obviously the Iron Skin from Johanna could potentially keep her alive as well. I guess the only other thing they've really got for it is if Uther can be right up in Kael'thas's face when he pops that pyro and stun him. Like, that's it. I don't even think that works because it's when you cast it. So there goes the charge, and the Ring of Frost coming out now. The Entomb only providing the zone. Now Jaina hopefully has Ice Block. Does. Survives the Pyroblast. Top lane gonna get cleared out here by the Pancakes, and Nazebo's gonna get in on this camp, and here comes the Lunara Wisp. If you're Nazebo, you have to leave now. You gotta go. They know you're there, and you're by yourself. So a free clear of that camp. Nice awareness on behalf of Lunara to send the Wisp down there and see what was going on, especially with so many of them up top. I don't know, guys. It's hard to call who I think is really, like, overall, even the better team. Like, I feel like both of these teams in general have been really balanced. 5 kills to 8 in this match. Last map rather. Overall was, you know, was very well balanced. Half the game was in one favor, half the game was in the other favor. Most of the team fights were, you know, fairly well balanced in kills. But right now on Infernal Shrines, at least, the structure advantage going over to the Pancakes. So Painfully Average has to make value out of these team fights somehow. They can't lose Greymane every time. They can't have Johanna get destroyed. And both teams coming up on level 16 here with a slight advantage to the Pancakes. And here they come, rotating down. They see Johanna's up in that top lane. The dive in onto Gingermancer. He's going to get away. Jaeger trying to chase down, but doesn't have any other abilities to cast. But level 16 is here. The Lord of Terror giving away a few points to the Jaina Blizzard. Here comes Johanna. They're going to start this pre-16. They don't care. The Ring of Frost going out. Hits 4. Lifebinder is going to keep Diablo up. There's the APOC as Kael'thas and Leoric both go down. Uther walking away with so little health, but there goes the Dragon Queen herself. And just like the last fight, health bars so low, but in this case, it's going to be the red ones going back to base as 1, 2, 3, 4 kills for Painfully Average, and now once again we are tied in our kills, but this is exactly what Painfully Average needed. Wait, what? 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 Well, I'm sorry we didn't get to see the two of them die. I couldn't even find them on the map. I was so busy paying attention to the shrine. I didn't see Nazebo and Greymane find their way to death. So ultimately, that's ends up being a 5 kills for 2. But I don't know that was worth it. I mean, I think the Greymane chasing down Nazebo, you don't get Greymane siege damage now on these structures. Jaina going back to get their camp, and so that frozen Punisher, which could have ultimately led to a fort here, gets a couple of towers. At a certain point, you have to just let it go. Isn't that right, Jaina? Just let it go? Jaina's the queen of not letting anything go. What am I talking about? Did I? They were on screen? Well then, okay, then I have no idea. That would explain why I didn't see them on the minimap, because they were probably hovered over the, with the other, mini faces on the minimap. Top lane, we've got all 5 versus 5. And Johanna coming in behind. Doesn't see the mage up above them there, though, but there's the Entomb. Only slowing down the blue side here. The Divine Storm going out. And the Zombie Wall does catch Johanna, but ultimately the Condemned pulling it together to allow her to get out. And Greymane with Go for the Throat is going to take out both of the front line. Not enough healing from the Alexstrasza, and now Jaina in a bit of trouble. Does get that Q from Uther, but goodbye, Jaina. It was nice knowing you. And so now, 2 kills to 1. Level 19, level 18. They're not that far behind. Let's check in on Nazebo stack, shall we? 123, so still a fair bit away from getting that 175 required for Vile Infection. And 19 and a half for Painfully Average. The lanes are very pushed in against them. This is where ultimately maybe they do get the advantage thanks to being down the structures, as they can soak their way to 20 a little bit better, a little bit safer, and will be 20 for sure by the time the next Punisher is available. And the red team, the Pancakes, may not be, because they can't get up into those lanes to get that XP. Welcome, Jugger Rob. I don't know if I should say Jugger Rob or Jugger Ob. But anyways, welcome. Thanks for watching the replay cast earlier. This one is in fact live. Mana Addict sitting at 41 globes so far. And we're gonna see them rotating down to get this bottom camp. And with level 20 being available, I like that. I don't want to see them trying to force a fight here. This is an arcane Punisher, so it is going to do a lot of damage. Ultimately, if they even give this, if they can get some value, you know, in this bot lane as they see everybody top. And they're going to go ahead and start working on this camp, get the level 20. Honestly, I think they could just go push that keep in the bot lane with the camp and with the big wave there, but they're going to come in and try to fight this. 26 already. The charge in onto Lunara. APOC is going to go out. Doesn't manage to hit anybody, but it is Dragon Queen getting targeted by Greymane. There goes the Buried Alive, but Courtney gets caught by that Ring of Frost, and the Condemned goes down, followed by Diablo. And now, once again, blue health bar is going down. Mr. Sue gonna be the 3rd kill. And Greymane getting to work on the minions. Yeah, and ultimately, they don't likely lose the game here, but I think they could have done so much more if they just left that alone, pushed bottom lane, gotten the keep value, come up and defended the Punisher. I think that's the safer play for them. as they're so far ahead in structures, and now they don't get the bottom lane. Well, I assumed they didn't get the bottom lane. Yeah, there we go. Lunar's going to go down and defend that. And they definitely lose this fort, and Nazeebo trying to get as much as he can out of this Punisher. Ice Block being used by Nazeebo as that laser doing so much damage. And there's the leap onto Leoric. Punisher nearly dead. We have 4 of the painfully average here to get some damage onto this keep. So about half, a little bit more than half of the keep left. And all 5 of both teams are up. Lunar is going to get up here and clean out this lane before it gets any keep damage. Okay. 1 hit from the minion. And now we're basically even at this point. We have level 20s. Pop those up again for you guys. Flamethrower. We've got the Buried Alive. We've got the Lifebinder upgrade. Gargantuan upgrade. The APOC on Death. Indestructible for Johanna on the other side. The Intensifying Toxin. Yep. Divine Hurricane. Oh, and that's the Cleave coming out from Greymane, allowing his Worgen attacks to cleave all over the place there, and then the upgraded Ring of Frost. So, gonna be an interesting fight here when we get the next fight. I think if you are the Pancakes, you want to have a fight that you can initiate with the Buried Alive, and follow up with your Kael'thas, maybe getting a Pyroblast into it, maybe get that Zombie Wall. Get the APOC, and, you know, throwing all your R buttons right into the middle of that Buried Alive. That's your best case scenario. And coming into a place where you know the enemy team is already fairly well fortified, not turning out so well, as there's loads of dot damage coming from the other side, and a big fat Divine Hurricane slows down your day. Bot lane pressure gets that bottom fort as well, so we're starting to see equalization in structures. 15 kills to 11. Far more mercenary kills, or mercenary captures coming out from Painfully Average, it looks like. And we're gonna get these camps cleared up, keeping the pressure at bay in the top lane. Leoric completing his auto attack quest. Diablo anchoring the point while they get the mid siege camp. Now this Punisher likely leads to game. It's going to be a frozen Punisher. We have both forts down in the bot lane, the wall down on the blue side, the wall up on the red side. And it looks like they're coming in. This is, if they do this faster, this is what I was talking about earlier, trying to get that kind of aggressive catch when they're not set up defensively for it, but they were a little bit slow to be able to catch them. And so now here comes the Shrine. Charge in onto the Uther, but Diablo making a good decision there to back away as his team was nowhere even remotely close by. Let's zoom out a little bit here as Lord of Gold coming into the back line, gets the Condemn onto 2, but is all by himself. This is a bad place to be. There's the APOC. Ring of Frost coming out, hits 2, and there goes Kael'thas. Living bomb spreading as Greymane now very low, but ultimately it's going to be Jaina that goes down first. Lord Gold also popping indestructible, trying to get away, uses that flash of light to get some health thanks to that level 16 talent, and now Dragon Queen is gone. You don't have Kael'thas, but you don't have Jaina on the other side. Both mages are down. So from a DPS standpoint, it's now Nazeebo versus Greymane and Lunara, but the front line heavily in favor of the Pancakes. Uther not able to quite get everybody healed up just yet. And there we go. Between the two teams, this is probably the safer team to be able to kill the Punisher. With the Lunara Greymane, they get that value, although we don't see the Nature's Culling. Instead, we saw the Blossom Swell there. But still, a lot of damage from her toxins at level 20 with the 3 stacks. Jaina is now up to help with this. 2 stunned by the Punisher, and Greymane's going to get stunned by the APOC. There's the Entomb going on to Greymane. Can't do anything except for attack. Divine Hurricane going to town. Stampy in trouble. Uses Ice Block, but now it's Greymane backing out. Frost Ring, or not Ring of Frost, but Roots coming out from the Punisher, helping the red team. And Desmond, in a bit of trouble, is not able to get out of the zombie wall. Willows, I don't know if they have Ice Block. They should live as long as they're full. And Greymane gets pounced on. Punisher pushing onto the core. Jaeger very low, though, and there's the APOC triggered from death. 40%, 30%. Ladies and gentlemen, this is looking like it's going to be a game number 3. All right. Get that point over to the red team. So, 17-13. Ultimately, just those final couple of fights. And getting that Punisher to push for the win. I'm not ditching practice. I'll be there. This is admittedly a little bit longer than I expected, but that's okay. So talents here showing up, level 20s, as I've showed, I don't know, half a dozen of times. So just showing them here for you guys, and then I'm going to go ahead and put us into a short commercial break while we check in with our teams and see where we're going for game number 3. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Impressive, Archer. But you'll need to do better than that.
You have no idea what I am capable of.
Good. Because you must be ready for anything. show promise, Hanzo. Well done. But greater challenges still await us.
I believe we are ready.
It's time to find out.
Alrighty, so we're getting ready for game number 3. And give me 1 second here. I just got a note that I need to make sure. Sorry about that. So our next game going to be Alterac Pass. Let's see if I can get people on the right teams here. Let's see. So that's right. That's right. That's right. With Jaeger, and I think Willis is on that team. Oh, I should be down there. Let's see, make player. Right, question mark. Should be, right? They've got the portrait synergy going on. Let's take a look at our maps here. So we've got Painfully Average and FF and the Pancakes. So game number 1 won by Painfully Average. Game number 2 on Infernal Shrines, FF and the Pancakes. And our selection is Alterac Pass by Painfully Average. Sounds like at least one team is ready. Checking on the second team to make sure they're ready as well. And if they are, then we'll get this going. Anytime now. How you guys doing in chat land tonight? Who are you rooting for here? Do you have a dog in this game? Ultimately, both teams playing very strong matches here. And let's see. Daw. I just saw the doggies in chat. The best doggies, in case you're wondering, that would be Alpha and Al showing up. All right, so are we bumping Chen up to the first ban? Huh? Are we doing it? I don't know. Take your time, guys. Is it? Chen was first banned last time, never mind. So is it Diva that's going up? Okay, so I did get it right. Chen first ban. And for no other reason than why not, I expect the Diva to be the second ban. Oh shit, let me go to the draft screen. There we go. Let's take a look at Diva stats while we're talking about Diva. About what I expected. Those stats at least will change for this week. And no Malfurion. Where do we go from here? Is it Diva? It's like I know the future or something. What do you think? Anubarak? Diablo? Both times they banned tanks. And there's that Diablo ban. So I'll track pass. If any of these teams play Sylvanas, I expect to see it. And there's the Jaina. So Jaina going all over the place here. Was banned first game, and game number 2 she went to the blue side. Now she's coming over to the red side. And Jaina fairly common here. Let's see what her participation rate is like. Pretty solid win rate for Jaina. We are going to see that Gul'dan once again, along with Anubarak. And it worked out for them in game 1, so why not try it for game number 3? So Johanna switching teams as well, but we have a new face on the map with Rhaegar. Going over to Mr. G. Third ban coming up here. Last time it was Imperious. Could potentially be Imperious again here. And it will. Diva Chen and then Jaina was the last time, and I didn't write down the first time, so that's unfortunate. Brightwing. Maybe they... Did they ban Brightwing in the first one? No, they played Brightwing in the first one. They didn't ban Jaina, they banned Brightwing. I knew they banned Brightwing. Alright, let's see. So, Gul'dan's going to be played by Willows. And who do they pick up next? What? Uther? Do you think these guys like Uther? Maybe that's why they're, and Lunara. Okay, so all kinds of dot damage. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you making it so that I don't have to actually change anything on my overlays. And since I didn't have to do anything, why don't we take a look and see what Uther looks like in Division D East. Uther, a solid, not ever happening. We're going to see Stitches and Zeratul. So, an interesting setup for FF and the Pancakes. And there goes the Ragnaros. So we did see the Ragnaros in game 1. This is a carbon copy of game 1. So we'll see if they are able to make this work now in game number 3. What? Get those horns out of here, no what? All right. We'll be back in just a moment there. So how you doing, chat? Oh my goodness. They basically said, nah, Stitches, get out of here. Since you're here, Cuddle Bear Stitches okay, and Skin. Alright, so Johanna, Jaina, Stitches, Rhaegar, Zeratul. So they're going to hook in. I guess they're going to slow them and burst them down between the Jaina and Zeratul. On the other side, we've got the dot damage all over the place with the Rhaegar to heal it up. So Chain Heal does have a fairly lengthy cooldown, but I think he can reduce that cooldown if I remember correctly. In fact, I think they just adjusted that and baked it in. Sounds about right. And if not, then Blizzard, why didn't you? You should have. Baked it into one of the level 4 or level 7 talents, I think, so. We did lose Lord Gold, is the reason why we are on a delay here. Lord Gold being the Anubarak player. Also had those disconnects in game number 1. And it looks like Lord Gold is online, back in the lobby. So, all right. Bands. Get everybody ready so we can get through this draft and into the game. Here we go. We're gonna burn through this draft, I imagine. Hopefully. Thanks for the follows, Juggerob and Ektar. Appreciate it, guys. I don't care what order they ban them in, just as long as they ban them. They probably already forgot what I said, too. Come on, guys. I was gonna say we don't need to have the countdown timers. Let's go. Should be Chen. Thank you. Next up is Diablo. I don't even care if they pick them in the same order, ultimately. They probably should pick them in the same order, actually. I don't remember who the first pick was. Ah, yes, it was Jaina. Thank you, Jaina. Appreciate that. Should be Anubarak Gul'dan here. Ah. They're throwing off the stats. Let's see, Johanna Rhaegar should be here. There we go. Got a ban for Imperius coming. Should have made myself referee so I could call these out. After that is the Brightwing. And then we get the Uther and Lunara. Sorry, Uther was already picked, so yeah, Gul'dan. And the last two Zeratul Stitches. Alright, and there's that rag. So, there we go. There's your draft. In case you missed it the first time. Just because I'm curious, I wonder what Ragnaros' stats look like since we have a little bit of time before this game gets started. Ragnaros sitting at a very solid not ever getting played in Division D East, at least in the first week. All right, so hopefully we get this game going. What are your predictions, chat? How long do you think this game's gonna go? I'm thinking 16:30. I'm gonna write that down. Let's see if I'm right. 16:30 is my guess. Not gonna say who I think is gonna win because ultimately I think these teams are pretty evenly matched. And they both got a comp that they wanted to make happen. So we do have Lord Gold on Anubarak, Willos on Gul'dan, Desmerd on Uther, Hufflepuffin on Lunara, Gingermancer onto Ragnaros. And that's your painfully average. I need to get back into the game. On the other side, for FF and the Pancakes, we've got Jaeger on Johanna, Mr. G on Rhaegar, Courtney on Jaina, Mr. Sue on Stitches, and Stampy on Zeratul. Checking out these level 1 talents. Looks very familiar. Although I can't remember if Nubarak took that level 1 originally in game 1, but all the other talents looking very familiar. Laws of Hope, Cleave Radius there, the stacking globes for both Jaina and Stitches, and then the electric charge. Top lane, gonna be Gingermancer and Mr. Sue, Stitches v Ragnaros. Getting a little bit of a rotation here in the middle. And getting 3 in the bot lane against the Zeratul. As opposed to the 3 in the mid lane with Uther. 1 minute mark, both camps available, neither team currently on them. And we see a 4-man rotation here coming down, getting that globe. And Lord Gold trying to make sure that he's far enough back that he's not going to get caught there. Mr. Sue taking some tower shots, and here we're going to get some corruption maybe. There it is. Building those stacks, and now Uther and Nubarak going to get started on this camp. Lunara is a little bit far forward. Not sure if they can get her because she's very speedy. And doing a little bit of a different setup here, going for a full 4-man rotation in between mid and bot. Not something you see too often just because of those slowing camps, and it's a fairly large map. And now Zeratul coming up into the top lane, trying to see if he can't get in onto the Ragnaros. And now it's Stitches this time that is going to be going offline. We can't win tonight, guys. Getting all kinds of disconnects and technical problems. So we'll be back in just a moment. Just reading up on the chat here. Sounds like Stitch is having a computer problem. So, let's see. Well, Willis is on the other team, so. Level 4 talents, we do see the Sins Exposed for the additional damage coming out from Johanna. We've got the Rending Cleave for Zeratul, Frost Shards, allowing to pierce on the Frostbolt. A little bit more of the traditional build from Jaina. Riveting moment here. So things that are happening around the map. We do see the siege camp just picked up by the blue team. It sounds like they are all ready to go, hopefully, for the red team. Sounds like the blue team is now ready to go, so we're going to get back into this map between Painfully Average and FF and the Pancakes. So as mentioned, camp picked up by the blue side. Gonna get that value in the mid lane. The prison camp's coming up in 6 seconds. And the rotation coming up from the Pancakes to get this push in the mid lane. Sorry about that. Had to cough. Didn't want all of you fine people getting your eardrums blown out by that. Camp in the middle is going to get cleared. And gathering a little bit more soak before they head up to get to this prison camp. But hold up. If they stay a little bit too long, this could be a pick. But Courtney taking the safe way. Ultimately, a good decision, as could have been a dead Jaina there. Ragnaros and Stitches still hanging up in the top lane. And here comes Zeratul. So 5-on-5 at the red camp. Let's see what happens. And they don't know where Zeratul is. Well, now they do. Going in onto the Ragnaros, gets a little bit of damage out there. Impale onto 2. The burrow charge in, unfortunately, doesn't hit anybody, so just gets the beetle deep into the back there. But ultimately, he's going to get caught by the Johanna and squished with the Can of Raid. Willow's in a bit of trouble here, but it's going to be Zeratul that goes down, then followed by the Gul'dan, and then Ragnaros getting caught by that hook. So Uther and Lunara, the only blue health bars here for Painfully Average coming in, as the Stitches will get channeling and does complete the channel on the Prison Cat. Continuing to see the pre-nerf, I guess, Zeratul build, so we'll see how much value they can get out of that. And they are going to go ahead and get the channel here, as electing to fall back with all 5 members of Painfully Average up. And this is going to give them the chance to get level 7 as well. So this, you know, maybe a little bit possibly of a misplay, but they do pull the Lunara in. They want to play a little bit more defensively. And so far, just a bit of damage. Now there goes more onto the Anubarak, but he's going to be able to make it out, getting that 60 spell armor from that shield. The hook onto Gul'dan does land the slow, and that's going to be a dead orc. And this should give them the opportunity then to start to channel this. Fair amount of poke potential here. Zooming out a little bit here, as loads of damage going onto the Anubarak. However, Hufflepuffin try to make it out there. Lunara doesn't have a big health bar, so even just getting hit a couple of times brings her down. Gingermancer, though, with Zeratul chasing down, will be another kill. The first cavalry of the game going over to the Pancakes. Splitting up to get the soak value, as they're fully full level, almost a level and a half ahead. Looking to get to their level 10s as quickly as possible. And we've got 3-2 in the mid lane here. Sorry, 3-3 rather. Working on clearing that up. Bot lane going down fairly quickly as well, but look at how much damage going out from the Jaina onto Gul'dan and Uther. Bot lane just about cleared up from Rag. Mid lane cleared up, and now it's just Lunara in the top lane left to go. And level 10's now online. Let's check these out. So we've got the Ring of Frost, the Void Prison, the Blessed Shield, Ancestral, and Putrid Bile, I assume. There we go. And now a 5 versus 4. They do get the hook onto Anubarak. He burrow charges away. There's the VP. Expecting the ring. There it is. Hits 2. Sorry, just hits the 1. Somehow Uther was not in that. Gul'dan trying to survive. Doesn't make it out, though. And a whole lot of ultimates there pressed for the red team to ensure just the 1 kill. But now coming back in is Painfully Average. And there's the final heroic from that Ancestral. Still just the 1 kill. Nearly manages to get the Uther, but not quite. And with vision onto these 3 in the middle, we have basically full hearth out of the Jaina and the Rhaegar. We do have this mid camp that was picked up a little bit ago, so they're going to go ahead and get a little bit of damage on this mid wall as they're trying to catch up and get that level 10. Zeratul on the bot lane on that Nexus Stalker, I think that's what it's called. The 4-legged beastie. And camp is available for the Pancakes. In theory, so is the top boss. They're going to go for the Knoll camp. And there goes that lava wave to counter that pressure that's already existing on that top fort. Alright, so here they come. They want to be on the defensive side. They've got almost all of their ultimates now. Stitches a little bit far away, just clearing that mid lane to allow the Gnolls to get better value. They know where Zeratul is, and they don't know where Uther is. There's the VP, misses the ring though, doesn't get it canceled there. And there's Divine Storm into the backline. Zeratul getting loads of damage, but it's going to be Gul'dan and Nubarak going down, followed by Zeratul. And the camp is still channeling 18 seconds here. Johanna pulling 2 in, and Gingermancer going back in, trying to get the kill presumably onto Jaina, but unable to get there, and ultimately is just going to find himself in the blizzard and another casualty of this fight. 8.6 seconds left on the timer. And red team's going to go ahead and Hearth, get themselves filled up on health and mana. I think they could have at least started this. They do see where, at this point, basically all of the blue team is located. But they're going to go ahead and get 13s. They want to soak the bot lane. They're very close to that. Zeratul as well, hanging out in the mid lane, safely soaking, trying to not be seen, at least on the minimap. And it's been long enough now that mid camp is available for the red team as well. So no forts down. Painfully Average has the pressure advantage right now because of this null camp. Not really sure. I guess they're gonna go invade the go with the aggressive invade. I feel like that's pretty much the sound that the Pancakes just made. They don't know where they're at. They don't know what they're doing. And they're not getting their prison camp. Now they know where they're at. Johanna being right up in their grill there. Use the Iron Skin to get out. They don't even get the channel started on their camp. Little bit of a bad situation there for the Pancakes. Probably gonna lose this tower. I think the Gnolls will attack it directly. And they want to be defensive, but they can't be defensive forever. There's no value here. There's no catapult pressure. You're just losing structure damage right now. So we're just dancing around. Gotta make something, and there's the something that need to happen. Get a hook onto the Gul'dan. Unfortunately, the rest of the team wasn't anywhere nearby. There's the VP, could get the ring, but he's got the Horrify, just barely gets out of it in time, and manages to get the kill onto 2. Divine Storm coming out with the cocoon onto the Stitches, the pull back onto Gul'dan. And Uther looks like he is going to be the 4th casualty here. Somewhere in there, Zeratul died as well. Maybe Uther makes it out. It's just a couple of tanks. So maybe now they'll start channel. And there are 3 minions over here, so they don't have to worry too much about getting the about the back cap. And there goes Lunara. Holy DCs this game, people. Let's see if they pause. So far, they have not. And Gingermancer at 28 stacks. Lunara is back. Gets hooked in on Ragnaros there. The Burrow Charge in, gets the big impale onto 3. Channel is interrupted, so it's going to be stopped there. And Nubarak trying to stall out the Stitches from getting away, but the Ancestral Healing will keep him at full health. There goes the hook onto Nubarak. Juking, dodging, trying to make their way out. And now we do finally see a little bit of pressure in the mid lane. Painfully Average coming back, getting their camp. And the Pancakes, as yet, not doing anything. Can't keep standing around, guys. This does not win you the game. I'm not going to get my 16 minutes and 30 seconds on this. And now with the camp in the middle, Painfully Average once again does have the pressure advantage here. There are no minions at the prison camp for the blue team. And so a little bit of damage going out onto the structures here. There are no minions. Oh, there are minions. Sorry, they were just hugging the wall there. So a little bit of structure damage, but ultimately they don't get either of the towers. And they head down to the bot lane. I'm struggling to keep the confusion out of my voice. This is it's a very awkward setup right now between these two teams. But level 16 now online for the Pancakes. Here comes the Ring of Frost. Does hit Gul'dan and Lunara, and Gul'dan is obliterated as well as Lunara. The Divine Storm onto the backline trying to help out. Molten Core gonna get interrupted by the Stitches. And Anubarak has no health. Uther going down as well here as Zeratul cleaning up. And Ragnaros is going to be the third kill here for the Pancakes as they now get the second structure. They'll start getting on this camp, the civilian camp or the whatever cavalry camp. I think they could have come down here onto the boss and gotten that as well. I don't think they need everybody on this. With 5 people here, they could have gotten the boss. And you know what? Frankly, at that point, that could even lead to game, as it would open up the potential for 2 other lanes to be pushing, as they would have to have defended against the boss and the keep. I'm sorry, the boss and the cavalry. But they didn't do that. They do have level 16 advantage, so we'll see what pressure they can get out of this. Pushing that lane in the top back with the lava wave. I believe Rag has Molten Core. So what I would expect for them to do is to push into a lane, pop the Molten Core, and then go somewhere else. The hook going out does not land. There's the Molten Core. This is the opportunity to say, okay, we're done here. And they are electing to do exactly that. Except they're taking the long way. And with that, since they did it outside of vision now, Lunara could be in a bit of trouble here. We'll see if misses the hook, gets the slow, but does not get the kill as she hippity hops her way right out of danger. And here we go, top lane Hufflepuffin, a little bit damaged there, almost low enough to get killed. And ultimately, very strong defense from Painfully Average. And now they like to head up to this boss. No vision on them. Lunara does not have her Wisp. They see Ragnaros in the mid lane. I think they should have already started this. And Lunara sending her Wisp to the bot lane. I was gonna say, how much longer do you guys need to wait here, guys? Very clear they're not coming. And now Painfully Average, I imagine, is going to head down to that bottom boss and take it for themselves. Since they know they're not there, they're likely at the top boss. There you go. All right. And this is pretty heavily favored now for the Pancakes, as they have no fort to go through. They just walk right into the keep. There's also no wall here. So this bottom boss is going to go straight into this fort that still has towers. Probably doesn't even take out the fort. Maybe it does, but if it does, it's not going to get, certainly not going to get the keep. Maybe it gets to the wall. But top lane is going to be keep going down. Right? Yeah, okay. It's still pretty healthy. And in the mid lane, we've got the pressure coming out from the Null camp. In the bottom lane, it looks like lots of damage onto the boss. I think maybe that the lava wave would have been better served in the bot lane to help provide pressure with the boss. I find a lot of people use lava wave in a defensive manner and to try to put damage onto things like the boss pressuring or the camp pressuring. As opposed to using it to help provide value for the objectives or a boss. And so with that, Painfully Average is going to start the channel on the camp here. And I don't want to see Pancakes coming in too early. I want them to try to get 20 out of this. They had a whole bunch of XP they could have gotten at the bot lane. They could be 20 already by now, but they elected to come up here first. So 26 seconds to go for the blue team as we do see the level 20s coming online for the Pancakes. And again, pretty much standard Zeratul draft with the cleaves and the auto attack healing and the spell power healing. Upgraded Putrid Bile, upgraded Ring of Frost, Storm Shield out of Rhaegar. 3/4 of a level to go for Painfully Average. I don't think that they get it before they need to be on this point, so I think that this is the fight that they need to come in and press back on. Because I think that if you are Painfully Average and they get the and the Pancakes get the camp here, that they win the game. So Painfully Average does get that pressure, pushes them back a bit here, stops the channel, and hopefully are able to get to 20. And one of these teams takes a fight that they think they can win. Uther in the top lane, soaking up. And the Pancakes coming in, realizing that this is their moment, ultimately before level 20. Now level 20 is online for both teams. And this is where they're coming in. Deep dive from Anubrak into the backline. There's the Void Prison, but the Cocoon onto Jaina prevents her from getting that Ring of Frost combo. Stampy getting the Ancestral. Disappeared? No, he didn't. The ring does land, gets 2, and the blizzard damage coming out onto Gingermancer. Stampy able to stay alive, and it's gonna be Anubrak followed by Ragnaros, followed by Lunara going down. And the cavalry coming in for the Pancakes. The pull back onto Uther. And that's going to be the kill onto Uther. And he does not have redemption. He is not coming back for the defense here. And with all 3 cavalry pushing, this should be plenty of time to take down the keeps and take down the core. But good news, Ragnaros did finish his quest quite some time ago. And on to the core they go, the core only having 20 armor. Alterac Pass does not have any shielding, just the bonus armor coming from the keeps. And as Anubrak coming up here, best case scenario is he gets a cocoon, but just not enough time. And so game number 3, and getting the reverse sweep is FF and the Pancakes. Alrighty then. Check out these stats. 3 to 19 kills. That was very heavily in favor of the Pancakes. Where am I? Lobby 2. Gonna see if we can get a quick interview here with Jaeger or another member of the Pancakes choosing. All 3 kills onto that Zeratul. Hashtag Zeratul fed. Let's take a look at those talents here. Showed them a couple times, but just in case you missed them earlier. Again, the double lava wave from Ragnaros, that Gul'dan circle. Divine Storm upgrade and the Cocoon upgrade. That's an interesting one. Usually you see the rewind here. Oh, I don't want both. I want that one. There we go. So hopefully we're going to get Jaeger or somebody in here in a moment. See what's going on over there. Checking in both on Discord and in the game. If I don't get a response here soon, we're going to have to move on. All right. They're going to go ahead and pass on the post-game interview, so I'm not going to be able to ask them about that Diva ban. I wanted to hear what their thoughts were on that. But ultimately, guys, we're going to wrap up here with the 2-1 victory going over to FF and the Pancakes. And that will put them... Let's take a look at those standings and see where that puts us now. So ultimately they were at 3 points. That'll put them now at 5 points, even with 2 calculated to throw, and Church of Murky tied for 3rd from Division D East. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to conclude our evening for tonight. It's been a pleasure casting for you. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for the follows again to Ektar and Jugger, Rob. Appreciate the support. And that's it. 3 games between FF and the Pancakes and Painfully Average. Keep an eye on the calendar for next week's games. You'll be able to see my schedule starting tomorrow as I update that here at twitch.tv/ArrowTheStorm. I'll also be posting it on my Twitter at WarriorArrow so that you can keep track of all of the games that I'll be casting and maybe even some replay reviews on Sunday next week. Have a great night, and we'll see you again soon.